I'm Lou and welcome to my channel. So for this week's video I really wanted to have a play around with the Marabu Alcohol Inks. I got this box back in Christmas, but I just haven't had a chance to play with it until now. So let's see what we've got inside. So on the box it says 2 alcohol inks, 1 diamond sparkle, 5 special paper and 1 permanent marker. So let's see. Okay, so these are the selection of colours that you can get in the Marabu inks. You can even get some metallic ones as well. They're nice vibrant colours. And then in the leaflet it looks like it gives you some tips and tricks on some techniques. So we've got drops, wispy layers, colour splash, masking and white stenciling. Some really cool techniques there, so we'll definitely be having a go at some of those. And then we have the 5 sheets of special paper. So this is normally called Yupo paper, and it's very smooth, so for the ink to glide on. It's not very porous at all. So you get 5 of those in, I think, A6 size. And then we've got a permanent marker graphics. It's alcohol based, and it's 1 mil, and we've got 0.5 mil. So you can create some art on top of the ink once it dries. So a nice fine one there. So yeah, that's really cool. And then the inks themselves, we have the isnt, which is like a deep blue, which is quite a nice colour. And then we have the amethyst, which is like a purpley colour. And then we have the diamond sparkle, which is like a iridescent, like you can see the glitter at the bottom there, so it's proper sitting at the bottom. It's very pretty. So yeah, so that's what you get in the box. So it looks like a lot of fun there. I create some really pretty light colours as well. I have actually used these before. These were in a previous Scrawler box, and I had so much fun with that box, so much so I actually bought another box and used up all the paper on that one. In that box, which is still available on the Scrawler box website, and it is on sale, so if you did want to get your own box, I recommend it. I will leave a link in the description below. But in that box you do get 3 Marabu alcohol inks, and one of them is the diamond sparkle, the Marabu alcohol ink extender, a pipette, a paper straw, a paintbrush, and the Yupo pad, which is a 500 GSM, and you get 10 sheets. And as I said, I actually got 2 boxes in the end, and I used all of them. I had so much fun with that box. You can have a lot of creativity and just running wild with it. Just to give you an idea, this is what I created. So this is the print that was included in the box, and this is what I created with those inks. So yeah, I was a little bit heavy-handed, but I was just playing around. I wasn't going too mad with thinking about like directions and whatnot. I used a straw a lot in the box to create these kind of wisps. This is my favourite. It kind of looks like a nebula space, like deep space. It's really pretty. And then I love this one as well, to get this smoky kind of wispy light effect. I love that one. I also used a white Sigma pen, Uniball pen, to draw on to create texture and like designs. Using the straw, I actually blew like directionally to create like flowers and then I used a pen to draw that in. I think this is a bit excessive. I didn't actually like how this turned out. I did like this, like the layering of the colours. I also used the paintbrush in the scrawler box to create these little wisps of ink coming out, and then I used a white Sigma pen, which wasn't included in the box, to create this little character, which is quite cute. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. It was such a fun project to do. I did record it, but I never uploaded it, mainly because my head was in the video a lot, which was a shame, because, and to be honest with you, I think I didn't create enough decent art for it to be a video. This time I've got a lot of things that I want to try out, and hopefully create a nice piece. I'm not going to use this paper. I am going to use the A4 Yupo paper from Frisk. So I actually bought this off of Amazon, I believe, a little while ago. So I want to play around with these inks a little bit. I also bought isopropanol, which is 99.9% pure. Anything above 90% would be actually really good with these inks. And this one's a spray nozzle, so you can make spray technique. So yeah, so we'll definitely give that a go. So other things that I want to try are, I have some of these little spongy things that I found in my craft box. I don't know where they came from, but I think we could give them a go. We'll see. I've also got one of these silicone paint brushes. These are actually really for masking fluid, but I thought maybe this might be useful, dipping that into the isopropanol and then making little dots onto the paper on the ink to create some effects might be really cool. I've also brought out the white Sigma Uniball pen to create some effects, maybe have contrast with the black and white pen. And then I also got the Posca pen, just in case, but you never know. I brought out a paintbrush. This one's just a cheap one that I can ruin, which is fine, but yeah, to like paint some effects or whatnot with the ink or the isopropanol. I also filled one of these water brushes as well with isopropanol. So this doesn't have water in it, has isopropanol, so I could actually paint some negative space with the brush. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I actually ruined the paper straw that was in the scrawler box, so I don't have that anymore. But to be honest with you, I am all about the environment and sustainability, so I have a metal straw, so we can create some effects blowing the ink away, and yeah, that would be quite fun to do. I've got the pipette from the original scrawler box as well, so we can use the isopropanol or even ink to just drip some drops down, make some splashes, whatever, to create some effects. And I've also got some gold metallic ink as well from Winsor & Newton, with a pen as well, but maybe it will work, I'm not sure. We can give it a go and see what we can create with that. I'm all about techniques in this video. I'm not sure what we'll create at the end, whether it will be good or not, but there's no right or wrong with this medium, to be honest. It's all about just letting loose, having some fun, creating some techniques, and just seeing what happens, basically. I've also got the acrylic ink. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I do have other colours, but I specifically picked this out because I just thought it'd be quite nice with these colours. This is a deep green, but it's kind of like a turquoisey green colour. So I thought maybe we could give that a go. And we have the Graphics Aqua ink, which is actually from Marabu, and this is a watercolour ink. Looking at the Yupo paper, it is suitable for alcohol inks, but it's also suitable for watercolours. I didn't even know that. I just assumed it was just for alcohol inks. So I may, in a future video, have a go at using this paper for watercolours and even these inks. I have 3 of these. I think I've got yellow, orange and red. So I could do something in a future video with these. But I really wanted to have a go and include like a yellowy colour maybe, and see if this works or not. It should do, but we shall see. I also have, there's quite a lot. I've got some Sharpies as well. These are alcohol based. I may or may not use these. I've just picked out some colours to kind of go with the inks, but we'll see if they work or not. And then we have a huge selection of alcohol markers. I've had these a very long time, so hopefully they're not dried out, but maybe we can create some art on top of the ink using these pens. As I said, it's all about just playing around with what you have and just having a little bit of fun. I do have the inks from the previous Scrawler box, so I have got magenta and Carabic, which is a light blue, and I've got the extender as well, which is basically isopropanol, and some more diamond sparkle. So I do have a spare of those, so we're going to use all of those as well. For safety, when using these inks, they can give off a little bit of a fume, being alcohol based. You do need to be in a ventilated area. I'm right in front of my window, so when I'm actually playing around with them I will have my window open. For now it's shut because I'm backed up onto a road and you can hear the cars going by, so that's why the window's shut at the moment. The ink does stain, so I will be wearing gloves. It can get messy, so I don't really want ink on me at all, so I will be wearing gloves. And if the fumes are a bit too much, I remember last time I used them because I was just so engrossed in it and I was close to the paper with the straw and everything. I was starting to get a headache, even with the window open. So I do have a mask if I start to feel a bit like that, but if you do feel like that, just stop. Make sure you are in a ventilated area, and just take a break and drink plenty. I also have a mat. As you can see, this is the mat I used previously for the inks, where I created all these splashes here. So this is what I'll be using, so it's not going on my actual work surface. And I also wanted to have a go at something a bit different I've not seen before. I've got cling film here. I'm going to have a go and see if I can create some effects with putting cling film on top of the ink and seeing how that dries with the cling film. It may or may not work, but I thought, do you know what, I'll give it a go. And I've got some kitchen towels, so I want to scrunch that up and dab and see what effects I can create with that as well. But yeah, as I said, we shall see in the video. So it is quite a lot to take in with all of this going on, but I'm just going to let loose and have some fun with it. So I hope you enjoy what I'm creating, even if it's just a mess. But I hope you do like it, and I will come in at the end of the video and just have a little talk about my process and what I think of it.
miserable people doing things they hate just to fit in. I know it's easier to get along peacefully, but have you ever thought about you? Don't know why I keep on doing what I'm told to do when the rules are made up by someone we never knew. Baby, wipe your tears and hear me out. We don't need someone to feel alright. Let's do the streets on a Monday. Let's call your exes and tell them they can join us too. Why always worry about money when you can get rich for trying to see the outside? I know it's hard sometimes to believe it, that you deserve more. Let me hear you say it. Oh, quit the job you hate and love the ones you love. 'Cause have you ever really thought about you? Don't know why I keep on doing what I'm told to do when the rules are made up by someone we never knew. Baby, wipe your tears and hear me out. We don't need someone to feel alright. Let's do the streets on a Monday. Let's call your exes and tell them they can join us too. Why always worry about money when you can get rich for trying to see the outside? We don't need someone to feel alright. Let's do the streets on a Monday. Let's call your exes and tell them they can join us too. Why always worry about money when you can get rich for trying to see the outside? I know the sign was given. It's in the way you move and in the sound of your heart. We tend to fall together, fall in love, and still in the end we'll fall apart. So it's hopeless that we stay close, but it's the life that we chose. It takes time to get it right. Sleepless days and nights. We just need a little more. Just a little time for you and I. So stay a bit longer. Just a little time for you and I until it's over. Just a little time. I think that we got blinded, 'cause when it's good it's great, so we can't see we're fading away. So it's hopeless that we stay close, but it's the life that we chose. It takes time to get it right. Sleepless days and nights. We just need a little more. Just a little time for you and I. So stay a bit longer. Just a little time for you and I until it's over.
Okay, so this one didn't work, so I just had a go at the acrylic ink with the isopropanol, and as you can see, it's just chunks of the acrylic in there. It's a nice colour, but I don't think that's gonna work, so that was a fail, unfortunately. But we'll have a go with the aqua ink next and see if that works. So this one, the yellow watercolor ink doesn't really react very well with the alcohol inks. As you can see, there is some muddiness to it, and there's like a breakup of the inks, little chunks and that, and I have noticed that the watercolor ink isn't drying as quickly. So it's going to take a little while to dry. I'm not sure about this one. I was just trying to get like a spray going, but I'm not sure about it, to be honest. So we'll see how that one turns out. Right, on this one, I think I'm just going to do loads of drops in various places using all of the inks and the isopropanol, and just let it sit and see what we can create with that. Obviously this is like completely smothered in isopropanol, which is not great. This is me just being very heavy-handed. I'm just seeing what comes out, really. I might have a go at just putting a layer on top and seeing if I can transfer any. Okay, it's a bit weird, but you don't know unless you try. Or maybe let it drip down. So. I really like that. I really love how that turned out. Don't like the bottom where it's all pooling at the bottom, but if it can just dry like that, that'd be great. This one has not turned out great, but that can change. It's a good thing about the inks, alcohol inks, is that you can keep manipulating it like that. Okay, I decided to just cut these down to A5 size just because I'm getting through the paper quite quickly. So basically all I did was put a bit of the Enzian ink and the amethyst ink and the isopropanol on top, and I'm going to carry on and try and create a technique with cling film. So I'm just going to let that dry and hopefully something cool will come out of that. So I'm going to have a go at just scrunching some tissue paper up. Try and get like a nice kind of... And then I'm going to spray it with the isopropanol and then try and see if I could create something. Who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of texture in this one. I'm really happy with that one. My part of me wants to have a go at putting the diamond sparkle on there, but at the same time I like how it's turned out. I don't want to ruin it. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to just spray it with the and see if it transfers. Yeah, I'm glad I did that now. You can just see, I don't know if you can, there's just a little bit of shimmer on top. And yeah, I absolutely love how this one's turned out.
our love strong, just like a love song. Baby, it's haunting me. Don't know what you're thinking. It's like I'm sinking deep underwater. Maybe it's harder, harder, harder for me. Oh, harder for me. Maybe we're over it, or maybe just lovers. Cause under the covers, baby, you're showing me how to be fearless so no one can hear us. You're throwing the pillars to the floor. Now put your loving, loving, loving on me. Yeah, loving on me. Maybe you won't see me get emotional, and sometimes I pretend I'm just above it all. But I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want your body, body, body too. Yeah, body too. And baby, please don't think I run away from you. It's just sometimes I get scared to dive into it. I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want your body, body, your body too. Yeah, body too. Will you be my ride or die? Around all these people, we'll try to be someone better than you and I. Posing for pictures, but nobody listens to anything that you have to say. Can we just leave and walk away? Walk away, walk away. Maybe you won't see me get emotional, and sometimes I pretend I'm just above it all. But I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want your body, body, body too. Yeah, body too. And baby, please don't think I run away from you. It's just sometimes I get scared to dive into it. I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want your body, body, your body too. Yeah, body too.
Okay, so I'm gonna just take off the cling film. It's now, I think, mostly dried, hopefully. It did spread out, so I was a bit disappointed that it did spread out to the edges, because I quite liked the composition that it was before. But let's have a look and see what it's created. So yeah, so it looks like some areas are still very wet. Yeah, it's just a little bit wet, it's not completely dry. But yeah, I actually really like the what's the can't get my words out. The technique, the texture. That's it. That's what I was going for. Yeah, I really like how. So it started off like very like tree roots, and then it's just gone really subtle and blurred out. I really like how that's come out. Yeah, I really like that. I don't think I'll do anything with it, but I like how just having a bit of cling film can create this effect. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, okay, so I was going to use the Winsor & Newton Gold Metallic ink for this piece and creating some wisps of gold. Unfortunately, I just checked it before going on camera, and it's completely dried out. I'm so disappointed with that one. Yeah, I tried to reactivate it with the isopropanol, but it's not. It's solid in there, which is a real shame. But I do have another option. I don't think it will go as nicely as the ink would have, but I do have the Spectrum Noir metallic paint marker. This one's a 4mm like chisel nib, but I'm going to give it a go and see what we can create with it. So yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do with this one. I think if it wasn't a chisel nib and it was slightly smaller nib, I think it would have been alright. It's a little bit thick, but I actually quite like the effect. It's kind of got like that marble effect. So yeah, so we'll see about that one.
The pedestal. I don't know what I was thinking. Let it be more than drinking and going back to your place, never to see you again. That was simply delusion, followed up with confusion. That was just substitution for a lonely bed. So that's impressive, how much I'm messing with my feelings and my heart. How much I'm messing with my feelings and my heart. Yeah. I'm going back to the table round. Oh, they saving us in for the stable friend of mine. Cause they know all this time that I was out my mind, thinking you were the one, that it was love, feelings were strong. I should've known, I should know. I don't know what I was thinking. Let it be more than drinking and going back to your place, never to see you again. That was simply delusion, followed up with confusion. That was just substitution for a lonely bed. So that's impressive, how much I'm messing with my feelings and my heart. never to see you again. That was simply delusion, followed up with confusion. That was just substitution for your lonely bed. So that's impressive, how much you're missing. Feelings in my heart, yeah, that's impressive, how much you're missing. Feelings in my heart, how much you're messing with me. 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 How much you're messing with me.
Okay, so I've reached the end of the video and I'm just going to recap on each piece, my techniques and what I used. So the first one I created is this one. I was just trying to get loose and fluid with this one. I just picked any inks and I was just dropping it on there and then using the isopropanol, spraying it, and I started off just moving it around the paper. I didn't like how it was going, so I then used a spray and splashes. I was doing a lot of splashes and creating this kind of effect, and then I incorporated right at the end the diamond sparkle. So there is a little bit, I don't know if you can see it on camera, there is a little bit of a shimmer on there as well, and I actually really like how this came out. It's a bit abstract, but I actually quite like it. So this was the first one, and then this is actually my favorite out of all of the pieces that I've done. This is my favorite. I want, again, being abstract, I try to be a bit more, not try and mix the colours so much, and I wanted it to be a bit more subtle, so I used less of the ink and more of the isopropanol. And then I came in, so I used the here it is, the straw, to blow it and to give it that feathery wispy look on the edges. And then I went in with the sponge. I put isopropanol on there and dabbed in areas to create that negative space, because it was lifting the ink as well. It did get on the sponge, but to be honest with you, I like how it transferred. So yeah, I really like how that turned out. And then I went in with the silicone paintbrush and then just sprayed a little bit of or dropped a few drops of the purple and the blue in here, and then just diluted it down with the isopropanol, and then I just basically dipped in and then just created these dots. I have to say, I love this one. It's so pretty, and I'm glad I kind of went with this. I didn't think about it, I just did it, and it turned out really well, and it's one of my favourite pieces. So yeah, I hope you like what I've been creating. So I'll put that over there, and then this is the next one that I did. I was again using the straw to blow away. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I know the technique works because I've done it before. I used the aqua ink, watercolor ink, diluted that down with some isopropanol, but it actually reacted with the other inks, and it's created this muddy look. The watercolor ink also took a lot longer to dry as well than the alcohol inks. So you don't know unless you try. That's the whole point of trying out these techniques and trying to figure these things out for yourself. You don't know. I mean, it still looks okay. It is a little bit muddy, but overall it's okay. I like the again, the wispy feathering at the end here, and how this kind of blends it from pink to purple and then into blue. So I do like how this came out for the most part. And then this one, I don't know what happened. I was just very liberal with the ink and the isopropanol. I was just going at it, and I just couldn't stop myself. So yeah, I started off okay. It did go a bit muted. I completely loaded the paper, and because I loaded the paper so much, I thought I need to get that off and try and rescue what I'd done. So I put another bit of paper over the top, literally just like that, and pulled up and then let it drip. And I actually love how this one turned out. I really like how this is kind of blended with the pinks, the blues, the purples. Got the light blue here. This is again one of my favourites. I love this bit here. It's just so wispy and smoky. I love it. So yeah, these are little happy accidents, as Bob Ross says, and I think, you know, you don't know, as I said, you don't know unless you try to see if something works or not. I then, after I'd put the paper on here, I then tried to do a bit more with it. So I did spray the isopropanol, so you did have the splashing of the isopropanol here, and then I just carried on and on and on. I then put some isopropanol here and then blue with the straw, and yeah, I ruined it. I kind of gave up at this point. I think you can tell. I do like how you've got the smokiness and that, and even like the droplets, the negative space and whatnot. So I do like what was created in this piece. I just don't like the composition of it. You've got this bit and then this bit. It's just a bit weird, but you live and learn. And then I wanted to have a go with this sponge, so I thought about using a two-tone, trying to get each side a different colour, and again I used the purple, or the magenta, sorry, and the light blue, and put a lot of isopropanol in there because the sponge was soaking it up and it was just dry. So it took a few attempts to actually get this kind of rainbowy kind of effect, but it actually turned out all right. It's very pale, very subtle, but it's actually quite pretty. And then I came in and with the diamond sparkle, and just did a few splashes on there, and it's so pretty. You can I hope you can see it on the camera just how pretty that is. Again, I have to say, is one of my favorite ones that's come out. Yeah. Then because I was using up quite a bit of the paper, I decided to go A5 size. So these are the ones that I came up with. So I started with the cling film. I really love how this came out. It's a really interesting detail that's come into the piece. So at the bottom it looks quite refined, kind of like tree roots. And then at the top here it's kind of more muted, more blended. It kind of looks very 3D effect. I don't know if you can see that, but I really love how this technique turned out. It'll be really good as a background as well. I think this will be a really good technique for a background, and then you doing something over the top. But yeah, I really love how this one turned out. It did spread out, so I did have it the way I would have liked it, but it did spread out a bit. But do you know what? I'm happy with this. Yeah. And then the next one I did was with the kitchen towel, and again this is one of my favorite ones that I've created out of the video today. I didn't think something just scrunched up kitchen towel would create something like this. I didn't record the beginning of it, but basically I put some ink down with a little bit of isopropanol, let it kind of spread out a bit, and then I just went in and scrunched it, and look how pretty the actual paper looks. It's so pretty. So yeah, look at the little fine details in that, and again I used the diamond sparkle. So basically I dabbed it, and then after I was happy with it, I then went in with the diamond sparkle. I just sprayed, just poured some on here, and then went back in to create a nice little shimmery kind of, I don't know, it looks very cosmic. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but I really love this one. I'd definitely do this technique again. So yeah, and then the next one I did is this one. I was trying to replicate the nebula, like galaxy type one that I did originally from my sketchbook. So I kind of used the same technique. I was very liberal with the ink, so it went everywhere, but I love the subtleness of it, the smokiness. As I said before, I really like that, and it had like these little like threads of ink, like darker ink, and I wanted to use the gold ink that I'd pulled out earlier. Unfortunately it wasn't until I opened it up that the ink has actually dried out. I'm devastated because this is I say it's a new ink. I've had it a long time, but I've never opened it, so I'm really disappointed that it dried out and I never actually got to use it. So yeah, I did try to reactivate it, but it won't. It's rock hard in there. So the alternative that I had was the Spectrum Noir metallic paint marker. This paint marker is from a previous scrawler box at Christmas, and I thought this is the only metallic pen that I have, so I thought I'd try and do the technique I wanted, but with a pen instead. Now this one's a 4mm chisel, so the lines are a lot thicker than I'd like, but do you know what, it's okay. It's kind of got that like marbly effect, and that's kind of what I was going for. So yeah, I'm glad I at least tried it. You don't, as I said, you don't know unless you try, and I've said that about 5 million times. Then the next one was, I was trying to again create flowers using the blow technique. I was layering the ink on top, and trying to get a composition, and I really did want to use the Signa and the permanent marker as well, and I also used the water brush as well, which had the isopropanol in there, so I went over and created these petals afterwards, so it manipulated the ink the way I wanted, and then I went over in the Signa pen to create the details a little bit. I wasn't trying to get too much detail into it. I was still trying to be quite abstract, and then I used the permanent marker to try and create a petal. I don't really like how that turned out, or any of it really. I kind of gave up, to be honest. It's not my best one. In fact, it's probably the one that I like the least. But I gave it a go, and I created something a bit different. So yeah, and then that was all the paper that I was initially going to use, and then I had an idea right at the end. I was like, it's 9 o'clock at night. I just wanted to try this one more thing and create an art piece. So this is what I created using kind of like gravity. So I really love how this turned out. And again, I wanted to try and either incorporate the Sharpies or the alcohol markers. And I kind of, the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that I use the Sharpies on it. One, you can't really see it anyway, but two, it just, I don't know, it just didn't work very well on the paper over the ink. So I only did a little corner and I was like, no, I don't want to carry on with this. I'll leave it as it is, and I think it's still really nice. I do love it, and again I use the diamond sparkle for the moon and then a few splashes, kind of like stars, I guess. But yeah, I was trying to create a landscape, and I think I've created quite a good one. So yeah, so this was the last one that I tried. And yeah, I do really love it. I love how like it kind of gives a bit of depth as well. So the light and the dark and that. So, and then right at the bottom you've got like these wisps, like they're it's grass or something. Yeah, I'm really happy with that one. So please do let me know which one was your favourite by leaving a comment down below. Please do give me a like, share and a subscribe, and because it's so hot, please make sure that you keep cool, drink lots, and I will see you next week. Take care, bye.